right, well here we are at the, what's the name of this shelter? Goddard, that's right. Oh, I had it too last night. But yeah, here we are at the Goddard shelter. That's what it looks like from the side here. You can't even get in front of it. There's woods all around, but that's the Goddard shelter, and there's not a whole lot here. Fire pit, there's not even a picnic table. There's like a bench to sit on. There is a privy down yonder, and there is a wonderful piped spring right down here, which we haven't seen a piped spring in forever. Cold and clear water, no tannins, delicious tasting water. Camped right up here, so I'll show you that in just a second. The trail, this is the Appalachian Trail actually, heads right past the shelter and up. There's a tent back there. There's sort of like spots all around here. None of them are great. They're all like okay for tent sites. I had to camp on a bit of a side hill last night. I shimmed my sleeping pad up with my sitting pad, my Z-seat, and my rain jacket, and I was comfortable. But about where my pack is where I was laying. So my tent was set up crossways. Actually, it was set long ways like this. And I laid right there. I always try to find the spot where my body should go, and then I position my tent accordingly. So that's where I was camped at, and this is the trail headed this way. I want to save some battery space, or I mean some storage space here, because we're going to be crossing over. I believe we're going to get to cross over Stratton Mountain today, which is where Benton McKay had the idea for founding the Appalachian Trail. So that'll be pretty cool. Kind of the spiritual homeland or birthplace of the AT. And then right up ahead, point 3 is a lookout tower over the mountains here. So I'm sure we'll have some good footage today. Well, hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends, family, fans, and finish line focused, fantastically fine folks. Good to see all of you here today. Thank you for coming along with me. Today is Friday, August, is it the 11th or 12th? I don't know. 11th. August 11th, so good day to each one of you. Had a great night last night. Got into camp kind of late. Everything was running a little behind. Didn't go to sleep. Well, I don't even know when I went to sleep, but I laid down and closed my eyes about 20 after 9 or so. Got up this morning at 6 o'clock, and it's a nice, cool, and crisp morning. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, and so I am looking forward to hiking the Appalachian Trail. So come along with me, and let's see what happens today. All right, I am up in the top of the fire tower. I'm going to show you down there. Dog, wave. You look like an ant down there. All right, here we are in the top of the fire tower. Man, yeah, this is awesome. Several people came up here and camped to get the sunset and sunrise. Wow, nice view. Look at the pine trees. Look at how everything's changed as you get up here into New England. Amazing. Beautiful. Super cool. All right, been hiking for about an hour and a half, something like that, and trail's been pretty nice this morning. It's been kind of rocky and rooty. Decent portion of it's been downhill, gentle, which has been nice. But we just had a pretty good climb with some rock step-ups and stuff like that, some rock scrambling, so now I'm sweating. I wasn't before that. In fact, my clothes were drying out. Here's the mud. My clothes were drying out from yesterday. Boy, they got absolutely soaking wet from the climbs up to the shelter last night, and I was going very fast. So man, I was sweating. Anyway, took off sopping wet clothes, and they didn't dry at all during the night. And so, but today they were drying this morning by wearing them. Body heat was drying them off, and now, like I said, now they're sweaty a little bit. That's hiking. So I didn't talk about the plans for the day. So the plan, today's kind of an odd day in that there's not many options for camping. So 17 miles, which is like a perfect day for us, would put us right on top of Stratton Mountain, and there's no camping up there. So that means you either got to go short, which is like 14 miles or 13. There's no way we're doing that. Or got to go over it, which puts you at a shelter. It's like 19, whatever. So looks like we're doing 19. But here's the deal. Hi there. Yeah, you bet. How's your hike?
Great.
Good. That's great. Thank you. So here's the deal. The shelter is a pay shelter, and there's no tenting there. You have to stay in the shelter. But I guess point 2 past it is a campground, and you have to pay there, but you can stay in your tent or whatever. So we'll see how the day progresses. But the plan for me is to get to that campsite, which I think would be 19.4 or 5. So the cool thing about that would be that in 2 days I would have done over 40 miles, which I don't think I've done on the trail yet. I've done like 38, maybe 39, but I've never done 40. So that's my goal, is I'd like to try to do that. Body feels amazingly well. Like, I can't tell it's any different than any other day, even though yesterday was one of the tougher days after, a couple other like tougher days. So yeah, I'm super excited and happy about how my body is feeling and holding up. I just talked to a couple more southbounders right before that last girl, and they have very much enjoyed the Whites and Maine. There was a former thru hiker back at the shelter that is just out for a short section. He liked Maine the best. So it sounds like, even though it's going to be difficult, some of the best stuff is definitely ahead. So excited about that. So yeah, I decided to share with you what the plans were for the day and show you a little bit of the trail in Vermont. This has been fairly typical of what it's like. It's hard to get a good pace or anything going because there's lots of rocks. It's real narrow and kind of overgrown, which is surprising as many people as do the AT and the long trail, through here. I'm surprised it's not kind of like maintained a little bit more, but it's okay. It's all right. All right, another mud puddle. These little mud spots are very common. They're just all over the place. And it rained last night after I got in my tent. It rained for probably a half hour, just a little bit, and quit. So that's why they call it Vermud, because it looks like it's going to rain nearly every day. I think the forecast for today is nice, but tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, there's like chances of rain every day and night. So there you have it. There's the report. Here's another beautiful pond here in Vermont. Gorgeous. Oh, super gorgeous. The trail through Vermont is a green tunnel full of roots and rocks. As you can see here, so far I am absolutely not just feeling Vermont. Not sure. I'll talk more about it later, I suppose. Beautiful pond. Yeah, this is the trail through Vermont. I mean, it is, every step is up, down, sideways, left, right, over roots, rocks, logs, but especially mud. Every step is somewhere or another. Very few can go like right in front of the other. It is just a maze of mess so far. And I'm like 26 miles, 27 miles into Vermont. No, 30 miles into Vermont. So I've gotten to see some of it. And, I don't know where everybody says how great Vermont is. We'll see. Maybe it'll improve. And it's not just trail conditions, but I mean, we stopped at a view back there for a snack, and I didn't even take a picture. I mean, you couldn't see hardly anything. So now the pond is gorgeous, but that's it. A few blazes, and kind of rough trails. So I don't know. Maybe it'll get better. Sorry, people that live in Vermont. I'm sure you guys are awesome, and I'm sure other parts of the state are awesome, but the trail is not my favorite. All right, let me put this thing away so I don't kill myself. Here's a little campsite next to the stream where I stopped and had some late lunch. It's now 2:30, and I'm 11 miles in for the day, hopefully close to 12. I'm not sure on all the tents and everything, where exactly how many miles I've been, but been enough. It's been kind of a slow day. There's so much mud, rocks and roots and junk. It's been very slow. So that's a little bit discouraging. Kind of got wet and muddy here a while back. Beautiful creek. Another nice campsite. What was I saying? Oh yeah, got into some mud. Ugh. Back there, so both feet are kind of a little muddy. There's a great campsite. If you want to be by the stream, I'll bet you the skeeters are pretty bad down here right now. It's almost kind of cool, like there's a few mosquitoes, but not bad. Headed 4.8 miles to the summit of Stratton Mountain. So I think the base is probably a mile or so this side. It's not too long of a mountain. It looks like it goes straight up and straight down. So the Stratton Mountain will be neat. I'll talk to you more when I get there, if not before. So body is kind of tired, kind of petering out. It's been exhausting dodging all the mud and rocks and stuff. It's taken kind of more of a toll on me than just normal hiking, but still really enjoying the day and the beauty here. But I'm definitely ready to see more. The trees, the trail's been very overgrown. This is by far the widest place so far. It's just because we're right there by that creek or whatever, in that bridge. They must have used ATVs to bring the material in, because it's a wide spot. But normally it's like walking through the brush, kind of. So anyway, yeah, not good cell reception through here either. So I miss being able to chat with my Halo whenever I want, and so that's a bit of a bummer. But I'm sure on top of Stratton Mountain I'll have some service, and probably tomorrow in Manchester Center. Alright, so I'm climbing up Stratton Mountain, or kind of at the base of it, I guess, here, walking along, and here came a gal hiking through southbound, and so we stopped and talked for just a minute and got something in common. So hey, tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Possum. I'm from Illinois.
Very nice. And how's your hike been so far?
Awesome. Been really good. The whites were awesome. Maine is beautiful. I miss Maine every day. Yeah, really good so far.
Great. And how were the whites?
I had really good weather. Really weird good weather. It's like sunny almost every day. Yeah, and you're just up there and it's just beautiful. So it was really cool.
Cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to it, and people like you, make me in a hurry to get up there. So yeah. Great. Well, nice to.
When you get up there, though, take your time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Absolutely. Well, great. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Woohoo! You're going to hear an echo because it's actually enclosed up here, but I made it to the fire tower on top of Stratton Mountain. I did not know that it was enclosed. I'm glad it is because there's a cool breeze and rain outside. And so down in the woods you don't feel the breeze, but up here you do. So I'm just going to spin around. Wow. Yeah, big breeze. Cool. This is where Benton Mackay was inspired to come up with the Appalachian Trail. A footpath for everyone. So he was on top of Stratton Mountain when he got the inspiration. So I'm going to sit here until I get inspired for something also. Or not. I'm going to go down and keep hiking to get this day done. It's now 4:47. So I don't know how much I've got yet to go, but got some. I just left the summit of Stratton Mountain and there's really nothing to see. It's just all trees like this. And then there was that tower and you couldn't see over the trees until you got basically to the top of the tower. And then you saw from up there. So yeah, sorry about not filming a whole lot, whatever, but boy, there's just not much to see. The climb up was a little bit grueling. It's definitely tiring after it's kind of near the end of a long second long day. So I'm sure normally it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm kind of tired at this point. I left Cur Dog back this morning near the second shelter, which was about 8 miles in or whatever, because he wanted to stop and eat lunch, and I wanted to go about 2 to 3 more miles before I stopped. Try to get a little break up my day into 5-mile segments rather than anyway. And so I haven't seen him now since earlier this morning. We're in the maybe 11:30 range. Talked to some guys back there, and they had passed him coming up the mountain, or basically at the base of the mountain, Stratton Mountain. So hopefully he's not too far behind me. The deal is I'm not sure where I'm going to stop, because I had thought about, or we'd talked this morning about going to the campground and paying $5, but I just found out it's 0.5 off the trail. I don't really want to do that. Very bad. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go. Hopefully there's a spot kind of close to the trail and I can set up there and he can see me when he comes by. So we'll see. I don't know. Service is spotty. I may send him a text because he'll turn on his service up there on top of the mountain. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll send him a text and then he can get it. I just don't know what to even say in it because I don't know where I'm going. All right, the day is winding down. It's 6:25. That was Stratton Pond Shelter. There's the privy and some other structure. It's like a couple hundred yards off the side of the Appalachian Trail, and so I am coming up here to see what's up, see if there's room and whatever. So I'll check in later.